Nobles were talking. His Majesty was looking at the Crown Prince in a very particular way today. His Majesty is showing him some tough love. Even if Queen Elise was here to see him, he thought. Did they say Queen Elise? So this must be the world inside the novel she had read. She remembered she was hit by a truck, so that truck must be the reincarnation truck. Goodbye, pathetic past life. The cat she saved before dying must have brought her good luck. She wondered who she had become, an elegant daughter of a royal family, or it would also be cool to be a self-made woman. But what is this? Did my body just levitate? Meow. What? Did that sound come out of my mouth? I could have become the main character or the villain, or at least a sidekick in this story. But a kitten no bigger than a palm of a hand. My hand is covered with fluffy white fur. In the modern world, cats are adored by most people. But if this world is the novel I read, we have a different situation here. In this empire, the emperor found a prophecy was made, and it was said that cursed cats would bring the empire to its demise. The frightened citizens combed through the empire and wiped out the cats. A few centuries later, no cats were to be seen in the empire, with that being the setting of the story. Now I am a cat. In this empire, children are taught at a young age that cats are atrocious animals and should be killed on sight. Will he kill me? Knights came and asked His Majesty what was going on. The prince replied, "Nothing. Let's do some hunting another day." This man is from the imperial family because he possesses red eyes, so he is the crown prince and soon to be the emperor. I am facing the character described as the most berserk tyrant to ever exist. He knows about the prophecy. He will obviously kill me. But this is so not fair. The prince asked, "What is it saying?" "This animal is a cat." She thought he probably only saw cats in drawings. How did he recognize me so quickly? What is he doing? After some time, where is he going? Instead of the garden, where it's out in the open, he wants to kill me elsewhere. The prince spoke. "It looks different than what I have seen in the books. The teeth have not grown past the chin yet. The claws don't look menacing at all. But they got one thing right, masking its wickedness. It has a talent for charming humans. No wonder why people found them cute." Roll over. High five. Bite my finger, she thought. Is he going to use that as the reason to kill me? She can't bite him. The prince spoke. "So strange. It feels like you can understand what I am saying. That would make you the only living thing that does. What should I feed this thing?" She thought. That means he is not killing me any time soon if he is willing to feed me food. She is lucky to be alive like this. He looks to be about 18 or 19 years old, soon after becoming an adult, and the novel takes place while he is on the throne. So that means she is in the prequel half of the novel. Cats could experience stomachaches from drinking milk made for humans. Well, I am going to give it a shot. Wow, it's so warm and delicious. The prince spoke. They are said to be smart and cruel creatures, but this one is quite pitiful and so fragile that I might accidentally break it. How did something like this kill people? She thought. That's what I am trying to say. Suddenly, the prince threw her in his pocket. She thought. I get that he had to put me in the jacket pocket since someone else came in, but he did not have to shove me in like that. Stupid crown prince. Catherine came and spoke. I was told that you enjoyed the dish I made yesterday, so I came to express gratitude for the compliment in person. The cat thought. I remember now. Someone with a soft and delicate voice that insists on preparing food for the prince. The one who would do anything to satisfy her hunger for power. The evil countess. She seduced the emperor and took the seat of the empress. The beginning of her grand scheme was using the black magic potion she used on the emperor and putting it in the prince's food. As the prince gradually becomes intoxicated by the black magic potion, she makes a puppet out of him so she can control him while he is on the throne. The prince spoke. So you are saying only if I eat this, you will stop babbling? Catherine replied. It's just that His Majesty commanded me to make sure you eat your meal. I am just following orders. The cat thought, wait, Prince, you did not pick up this food just now. I cannot let him eat this food. I have no other choice, my secret weapon. Then she started desperate scratches. The prince squeezed her. She thought, you can't stop me. I did not want to resort to this. Don't eat that. It will ruin you. It will make your brain melt. The prince stated, That's enough. My father is not the type to care about my eating habits, and I am not hungry at the moment. After Catherine was gone, the prince spoke. Did you see the scratches? She thought. What do I do? Being a cat already seems strange enough to him. Now that I have scratched up his hand, I am sure he won't spare me anymore. Look, I did not mean to hurt you. I was trying to help. Oh, right. He can't understand me. I am dead. Should I have let him eat and plan my escape instead? No, that does not align with my conscience. How can one stand by and watch someone become addicted to such a terrifying thing? In the story, he is already addicted to the dark magic potion, but at this point in time, the addiction is preventable. The prince asked, Were you startled because I shoved you in my pocket? I will let you stay outside, so don't scratch me again. Then I shall resume my meal. She thought, How can I stop him from eating the poisoned food? Hold on a second, now I can scratch it. The prince asked, What are you doing? She thought, Human language, I need it badly. Whatever happens, watch this, prince. I will show you the power of the universal language, body language. The prince spoke, You are saying I should not eat the food. I feel like I am going insane. Can you point to the ones I should avoid? Then she started pointing to all the foods. The prince asked, So why should I avoid all these foods? How should a cat know? But based on your gestures, if I eat it, I will get sick and faint. Is that right, like I will get poisoned? That does not make any sense. Could it be possible because you are a cat and have special abilities? She thought, It's because I am a human inside a cat's body, then how should I live on? No, I must remain helpful. First, I will stick close to the crown prince, who does not seem keen on killing me for now. I will figure out a way to return to being a human. The prince spoke, This thing is funny. Then a voice came, Your Majesty, a command from His Imperial Majesty. He wants to see you in the second library as soon as possible. After some time, she thought, This room is rather dull. It does not feel lived in. She remembered the prince told her, Stay here. You can look around if you get bored, but don't go anywhere else. Then, at night, the prince came and changed his clothes, then took a shower. After that, the prince spoke, You're still here. I am going to sleep now, so you do too. Make sure you stay inside the bed. She thought, What's that smell on the prince? Could it be blood? In the original story, the prince was harshly disciplined by the emperor. Could that be the reason why he had to go see him today? Now, after seeing these things, this smell of blood and cold air, I feel sorry. Is there anything I can do in my position? What can I do to help you? After some time, the prince woke up and thought, Another nightmare, then thought, Who is she? What is happening? It's gone. The Kate that was supposed to be where this woman is now lying here, disappeared. For the first time, I encountered a real cat, which I have only ever seen in drawings. Killing it on the spot may have been the right thing to do, but I could not bring myself to do it for some reason. How was there a cat when cats are supposed to have been killed to extinction? How did it get right into the palace garden? Secondly, despite being an animal, how does it seem like it can understand human language? It protected me from poisoned food. It waited for me to return to this room. It kept me company until I fell asleep. Therefore, this cat, no matter how dangerous of a creature it may be, even if it should be torn apart, I discovered it, and it is mine. If this woman dares to lay hands on what is mine, whoever she may be, I will not forgive her. The prince stated, Wake up right now, but there was no response. Then again, he said, I command you as the prince, open your eyes right this second. Suddenly, a flash occurred, and in the next moment, the cat was sleeping. The prince thought, What in the world is happening? The cat woke up and thought, Why is he waking up a cat in the middle of the night? Plus, doesn't he look super irritated? Did I kick him in my sleep? Did I mess with his wounds? The prince asked, Who are you? She thought, Even if you ask that, as a cat, I can't give you the answer. The prince said, You just now, you definitely. She thought, Why are you not finishing your sentences? What about me? The prince asked. Are you a cat? Like a real cat, she thought. Does he have trust issues? Yes, I am indeed a cat. Is it your first time seeing a cat? Actually, I guess it is his first time. Could it be he is under the influence of the black magic potion that has accumulated in his body over time, or could he be in a state of stress-induced sleep-talking? The prince stated, If you reveal your identity now, I will spare you from severe punishment. She thought, can't you see I am a cat, and I am cute? Let's move on. The prince asked, What are you doing? She thought the cuteness of a cat did not work. So hurry up and wake up from the evil spell, Your Majesty. The prince spoke. I guess there is no point in interrogating you, she thought. Has he given up? Will he go back to sleep? Why is he tucking me in so tightly? And how? The warmth is making me sleepy. The prince said, How can this happen? Take a look at this so-called cat in front of me. While a cat clearly exists, the empire is still standing. This is completely different from what I have been told. Moreover, I have never read anywhere about cats transforming into humans. A hidden history that deceived the empire. This is my empire, and it will be mine no matter what. So I will stop at nothing to uncover every single hidden mystery that exists. Until then, I shall not let this cat be discovered or taken away, but more than anything, I need to get some clothes for this woman. The next morning, the cat woke up and thought she felt like she had been needing the most sleep since she became a cat. What is this? The prince spoke. I can't have you get me. Don't even think about going anywhere and eat up. She thought. He still smells like blood. The prince asked. What is she doing? The cat thought. What have we got here? The prince is known as the best master of martial arts and swordsmanship in the empire, but these are marks of ruthless violence. Does he not attempt to resist? Why not? The emperor, who was revered for his strength in the original story, is enduring so much abuse in his youth. This is not a good thing. The prince asked, What are you doing? You are upset that I am hurt so much as to warrant both of your paws to be held up. Is that what you are trying to say? That's strange. You act like a person but also seem to think you are a cat. Then he thought, Is she fooling me, or does she not know it herself? The prince stated. Let's go out for now. We have got to buy something. In the next scene, she thought, Now that I am outside, I can feel it more vividly. That this is a world within a novel. After they arrived, shop owners welcomed him to their clothing shop. She thought, He wants to buy clothes. What does he need me for? After that, the prince told them, I will browse alone for a moment, and dismiss the staff. Then he said, Cat, you can come out now. She thought. This is a luxury boutique. Everything looks expensive. The prince asked, Take a pick. Which one do you like? I don't know what women would prefer. She thought. What is the prince trying to do with women's pajamas? The prince told her, It's a gift. She thought. For who? There is only one woman in the prince's life right now. Don't tell me you are gifting this to the countess, when she is the one who poisoned your food. Catherine is such a dazzling beauty, and there are only 3 years of age gap between them. But aren't they supposed to be enemies? She replaced his mother's position in the palace. Don't tell me because she served him meals, he grew fond of her. He has no idea what kind of motives she had when she served him food. The prince asked, Don't buy them, we really need them. Wait, are you being jealous thinking that these are not for you? Then he thought, I guess she really does not know that she turns into a human when she falls asleep. If that's the case, it could be amusing to keep this secret to myself for a while. After some time in the carriage, she thought, What was that? He looks like he is hiding something. What is he thinking about? I can't let my guard down. The prince asked, Do you want some treats? There we go, she thought. Do you want some? The prince spoke, I don't like sweets, you should finish. The cat thought, At this rate, I will really turn into a kitten. I wonder where we are headed next. It doesn't look like we are going back to the palace. The prince spoke, Listen, cat, when we get to our destination, we will be getting something checked out. You will not be getting hurt no matter what, so don't get startled. She thought, I knew it, he is plotting something. What is he plotting now? No, I can't feel so comfortable. It must be because of the treats and pats. I feel sleepy. The prince thought, this is exactly why I covered her with a blanket in advance. Since the time of the previous emperor, magic has been condemned as a sinister force and strictly limited in its usage. As such, the wizards themselves also faced persecution. In order to discover the truth of this strange phenomenon surrounding this cat or this woman, I have to meet up with the wizards in person. Next scene, she woke up and thought, are we here? Judging by the fact I am in the pocket again. I don't know where this is, but we have arrived at our destination. They are now at the estate of Duke Dusan. The Duke welcomed the crown prince. The Duke's son, Herod, asked, forgive me for asking, but does His Majesty at the palace know that you are here? Truth be told, us wizards have been marginalized here, all because the royal family has labeled us as evil forces. I could not even picture what the palace looks like, and out of nowhere we have a visit from His Highness, the Crown Prince. The Duke stated, shut up, Your Highness, my son is still immature and acted disrespectfully. Please show mercy. The prince replied, it does not matter, it's only natural for your son to harbor resentment toward the palace. However, the reason I came here without notice today is because there is something I need you to confirm. The next moment, all of them were shocked. The Duke asked, is that a cat? Why have you brought us such an ominous creature? The prince stated, I don't care that magic is considered to be an adverse force to the palace. Withhold no means or methods and find out about the curse involving this cat. She thought, this guy, I remember him. He is the young and brilliant sorcerer who led a rebellion against the prince, who became the emperor in the latter part of the novel. This story is deviating from what I remember in the original novel, which means I can no longer predict the future from now on. Herod shouted, why on earth would you bring this cursed creature here? Is it that no one from the palace wants to get blood on their hands, so you brought that creature here to be taken care of? Then I will gladly take its life for you. In the next moment, he asked, who gave you permission to pull out this dagger? The Duke spoke, please, Your Highness. Herod said, you are surrounded by sorcerers here. You are surely mistaken if you think that there won't be any consequences for pointing your sword at me. The Duke said, watch your language. Then, Your Royal Highness, please have mercy. He is too young to understand the situation. Please put down your sword. The prince stated, this cat belongs to me. Those who lay hands on what is mine must be punished. However, I will let it go this time. The Duke asked, this cat belongs to you, but the prophecy deemed the cats to be the cause of the empire's downfall. The prince replied, I don't like to beat around the bush. What would be faster, you drawing the magic runes, or the rate at which my fire will spread? She thought, that's the aura, the prince's hidden power, a type of power that only those who have mastered the highest level of swordsmanship possess. The prince using his aura here reveals his secret and could potentially put him in danger. Despite that, he did not hold back from using his aura. The Duke spoke, we accept your command. Please retrieve the aura. She thought, this is really happening. The current situation is unfolding differently from the original plot. This is the reality that I must survive. The Duke said, wait, this energy. He can't believe this. This is a power so strong that no one can undo. It's a divine blessing. God is protecting this cat. The interpretation of the prophecy, as we all know well, is that cats are evil and they all deserve death. However, this cat here is not surrounded by a curse but by a divine blessing. This cat and its ancestors were able to survive for generations because God protected them. The Duke asked Herod to check the cat's memories. Herod used his magic, and after some time, he spoke, it's quite strange. There is nothing. The only human that exists in this cat's memory is you, Your Royal Highness. The prince spoke, and that means it's lost all previous memories. Then he asked, can you find out more about the divine blessing? The Duke replied, it seems like I can't find out more using magic. The divine power within the cat is blocking magic. As the Crown Prince, I am here to make you an official offer. This is a contract. Take your time and review it. Both of them were shocked. This is the sun emblem of the empire, they said, and asked, why did you choose us? The prince replied, The Dusons were the only family with virtue who has never submitted to the royal family for centuries. I need people that will not submit to the royal family. And that is why I will make you an offer that will be beneficial to you as well. I will reinstate the academy. The Duke spoke. Your Highness, this may very well end up putting you in danger. The prince replied. I will take care of all that. I just ask you to focus on training the wizards. As you all may know, the empire is barely being held together, and now there seem to be hidden secrets such as this cat. It will be very difficult to set everything right, but I have already made up my mind. If you put your trust in me, I promise it will bring success and glory to the wizards. The Duke spoke. A contract for a wizard is akin to giving up their life. The wizard can wield power only when serving their master through the contract. And the more powerful the magic, the more they will lose their sense of self, meaning absolute surrender of their power to their master. The prince told them he just wanted to find the truth. Why does what we see here not align with the prophecy? What are the secrets behind the prophecy? The Duke replied, I, Valen Duson, will dedicate my life to everything you command. From now on, you are our master. The prince said, Herod, I give you my first command, enchant them so they fit the size of the wearer. Herod used his power and then spoke, it's all done. Then, at night, the prince spoke, Cat, come here, put this on. She thought, human clothes, he is giving this to a cat to sleep in. No way, it looks uncomfortable. It's so nice to crawl into the cool sheets without wearing anything and fall asleep. He is asking me to give that up. There is no way I will give up one of the few perks of being a cat. Protect the freedom of animals, ensure our rights to sleep comfortably. The prince stated, you hate it that much, so you will never wear it. Well, don't regret it later. After some time, the prince thought, look, I told you to put it on. After some days, she thought, ever since the prince turned 19, he had taken a dangerous amount of black magic potion. Going by the original plot, by this time he would be exhausted, in immense pain, and have a super dark aura about him. But why does he look so lively and healthy? Suddenly, a white eagle came. The prince spoke, so he has arrived. Then he thought, no luck today. At least I got a letter saying she can't see me. That's better than being left in the dark. After death, the prince told her, this eagle is tamed by my mother. I am going to see His Majesty, so she will rest in this room. In the next scene, the emperor stated, it did not budge when it was whipped, but with the gun, it's finally down. Quite an entertainment to play with the prey like this. The prince spoke, I have had enough of this, take it away and rest it in the Great Plains. After that, Leno, the chief of staff, came and whispered something to the emperor. Suddenly, the emperor asked, I hear that wizards are roaming about everywhere. Can you explain this? The prince thought, they have noticed the change in the movements of the wizards. This chief of staff is individually working with Catherine. Shall he shake them up a bit? And spoke, that's because I summoned the wizards. Then he thought, he did not expect me to come forth like that. He continued, I judged that it's necessary to keep them close and observe them. Except for the nobles, most citizens seek the wizards whenever they are troubled with disease or other minor issues. I want to use the wizards, who are trusted by many citizens, and have the palace take over the loyalty and power they possess, all for you, your majesty. The emperor spoke, that's right, you have got your father's back now, how commendable, don't you agree? Chief, Leno replied, absolutely, His Highness's love for your majesty runs deep. Catherine came and asked, we have got many guests. I thought you were busy with the masquerade preparations. The emperor asked, anyway, how are the preparations for the masquerade going? Catherine replied, if only Her Majesty the Empress were here, she would have taken care of it excellently, the emperor stated, even bringing up someone who cares more about their rehab than official affairs. You alone are enough. Catherine asked, what do you think? Do you think the same? The prince replied, without a doubt, I too have great expectations of your work. Then he thought, all these annoying people in the palace, should I kill them all now? No, not yet. It's too generous to kill them all so swiftly. I will suffocate them gradually and make them beg me to end their lives. Then at night, the prince came into the room. She thought, did something happen at the party? Did the countess poison the food again? Side effects of the black magic potion include intense pain and vomiting. The food at the party must be poisoned. In the original novel, the prince started to show signs of black magic the year he turned 19. The prince is that age right now. This is the most painful time for him, painful enough to kill his own father and overthrow the throne. It's not fair. He is so young. How did the prince endure this type of pain without anyone noticing? No, it's not that he is good at hiding it. It's because no one in the palace is protecting him. All the while, the prince protects me when I am vulnerable. He is the only human that does so. So now, prince, I will be there for you. I will do what I can do. First, I need to cool down the fever. I am so tired. But this should do it. His fever should cool down. I want to sleep in the warm blankets too, but the pillows the prince put together for me, I scattered them running around, and I don't have a way to get on the bed. I am out of options. I will put on this cat pajama at least, a cat in a chemise. If you saw this, you would have laughed. In the morning, the prince thought, what is this wet thing on my forehead? This is a chemise drenched in water. Could it be? Did she fall asleep after taking care of me? It seems like you are the only one who has my back in this hellish place. Are you trying to catch a cold sleeping on the floor and make me take care of you? Well, shall I reward you for being good? Rhinette means a small queen, at least in here. You order me around like a queen, so I will give you that name. After some time, she thought, I am in bed. How long was I out for? The prince asked, how did you sleep? Rhinette, she thought. Rhinette. The prince told her, that's your name from now on. She thought, my name, come to think of it, I did not have a name in this world, a name that the prince gave me. Then she asked if he was feeling okay. The prince replied, I am fine now thanks to some cat who took care of me. So, as thanks, I give you a name. Rhinette thought, glad to hear you are doing better. The prince stated, to show gratitude, I want to tell you something, to tell you the truth. Rhinette, you turn into a human when you fall asleep while you are naked. Rhinette shouted, naked. After some time, the prince asked, so you are not going to look at me anymore? Rhinette thought, of course not, obviously, since he has seen me naked. The prince tried to pat her and said, I will explain why I did not tell you sooner. Rhinette scratched his finger, then thought, that was a reflex. The prince stated, okay. Get some rest and feel better, I am going out for work. Rhinette thought, is he mad because I scratched him? The prince thought, while being on full guard, the most she can do is make small cuts on the skin. Then he said, be good while I am gone. After that, Rhinette thought, I wonder when the prince will be back. What happened just now was my bad. I am going to apologize when he gets back. Suddenly, she heard voices saying, hurry up. Now find anything that could lead to trouble. Rhinette thought, that door, who is entering the prince's room at this time without prior notice? Catherine said, they don't have much time, judging by the prince's personality, he won't talk for long with the ambassador. Rhinette thought, I know the emperor favors her, but is she allowed to break into the prince's room and dig around? Then she heard their voices saying, it was reported he visited the boutique. So there has got to be something related to a woman in here, Rhinette thought, the one he bought the chemises from. One of the lady asked how would it be a concern that His Majesty is seeing a woman. Catherine stated, did I give you permission to think? All you have to do is do as I say. So why are you eating away at our precious time and going against my order? Do you think the woman he is seeing has a noble background? If she were a noble, he would have met up with her in the palace, but he met her at a boutique in town. That means she is from a class that he can't be seen with in public. After some time, a maid told her, nothing special came up. Catherine shouted, are you freaking serious? That's because you are not looking thoroughly enough. Another maid came and said she thought no one was here. She just came here to clean His Highness's room. Catherine asked, you would enter the room without permission just to clean it? The maid replied, he said I can do that when the door is open. I am telling the truth. Please believe me. Then a lady whispered something, and Catherine stated, "All right, let's get out of here for now, and I will remember your face." Reinette thought, so they are finally gone, that poor maid. I just have to wait until she is gone. She scared me. She came this way all of a sudden. What? Did she see me? No way. She noticed me. She shoved her hand under the bed. She knows I am here. No, there is no way. We did not make eye contact. Why is she doing this? She did not come here to clean. Any closer and she will get me. The prince said, "What are you doing here?" "I left the door locked," the maid replied. "It was open when I got here." The prince spoke, "That's enough. Leave now." After that, the prince asked, "Are you okay? You did not get hurt?" "I double-checked the lock before leaving, but she said it was left open. I am sure it was the countess who unlocked it." Reinette thought, "How did you know that?" The prince continued, "I ran into her on the way. She turned so pale." Reinette thought, "My scratch from the morning left a mark. I broke his skin, but he still rescued me from danger. What a light." The prince said, "They are connecting me already. Don't you want to know more about your condition?" In the next scene, the maid thought, "What is that? Has this always been here in the palace garden? Why is it so quiet around here today? It almost feels strange how silent it is. It's like it's not the real world." The duke asked, "How did you get in here?" "I created this space with magic. Only the master and I can enter this space." "It looks like you were on a search for something." The maid replied, "No, it's not true. I am just lost. That's all. That's how I got here." The duke asked, "Is that right, or could it be that you are looking for a cat?" The maid said, "I don't know what you are talking about." The duke stated, "You would be better off telling the truth. My master does not like to waste time waiting around." The prince came and stated, "I thought you looked familiar. You are the maid that rummaged through my room earlier. What is your name? And I guess you did not find what you were looking for in my room." The maid replied that her name was Irena, and she really only went in there to clean the room. The prince stated, "Look, can't you see you are wasting both of our time by telling obvious lies? Answer me, who are you working for?" Irena replied, "I swear I am not a spy or anything close to that. There is nothing I can tell you." The prince stated, "It seems like you have misunderstood. This is not a polite request. This is a command." Reinette thought, "What do I do?" The prince looks super angry. At this rate, that maid will be killed. The prince spoke, "There is no point in prolonging this," Reinette thought. He took the sword out. "No, I can't let him become a merciless tyrant." In the next moment, Reinette thought she got it. The prince asked, "Why did you do this?" The duke asked, "Your Highness, why did you bring the cat with you? What if you get caught?" Reinette thought, "Is she not afraid of me? It must be her first time seeing a cat." Suddenly, Irena jumped toward her. Reinette thought, "She is gonna get me." Irena spoke, "You are alive, my baby." Then she remembered and told them that some days ago Irena had told her, "Okay, sweetie, if anyone comes nearby, stay hidden. If they try to catch you, run away. You will be a good girl until I come back, right? Mommy will be back." But when she came back, Irena spoke, "Baby, where are you?" She usually runs out when I call her. "Where are you, baby?" But she was gone. My baby was gone. The prince spoke, "So that must be when I found and picked up the cat." Irena replied, "That appears to be the case. I thought I had lost my baby without any hope. I had no idea she had lost her memories and had been with you the whole time. She must have been scared, especially without any memories. My baby," and the prince spared both of our lives. "I don't know how I could ever repay you." The prince asked, "If you are her mother, does that mean you are a cat too?" Irena replied, "Yes, that is correct." The prince continued, "Then you can repay me by answering a few questions for me. Are there any other cats besides you two?" Irena replied, "No." Since the prophecy was received, the policy for exterminating cats was implemented. At that point, even the wizards came after us. All other cats were killed at that time. Since the incident, where cats were believed to have killed children and offered them to the demon as a sacrifice, cats were regarded as evil creatures. Reinette thought, "What is this? It's only a story I am hearing, yet I feel strangely sad and guilty. I feel sick. It's like I have seen it before. This sadness, this feeling of guilt, who do they belong to? The prince spoke. Reinette, what's wrong? Are you okay? Irena asked. Did you give the name Reinette to her? The prince replied. Yes, now that you mention it. What is her real name? I am assuming you already had a name for her. Irena replied. She has not been named yet. The prince asked. Why is that? Irena replied. Well, it's because we are under a curse. Our curse is that we turn into cats, and on the night when the red moon rises, we conceive a child. It's told that this is the punishment we must bear. The prince asked, punishment for what? Irena replied, I don't know the details of that. The duke spoke. The red moon is observed once every 70 years. The last time it rose was 18 years ago on the imperial calendar, Irena stated. 10 months after that, my baby was born. I am 89 years old now. Reinette thought, what? How does she look so young for her age? Does that mean I won't age either? And I will conceive a child on the night of the red moon. Irena continued, this child will fully mature 1 year from now, which also means I have only got 1 more year to live on this earth. We are born just like humans, we grow up the same as humans, but once we reach the age of 20, our appearance remains the same, and we live the rest of our 90 years of life that way. The prince asked, I understand how your life cycle works, but what does that have to do with the fact that you have not named Reinette yet? Irena replied, something unexpected came up. We have the appearance of humans when we are awake and turn into cats when we fall asleep. However, only this child here has a different curse than the rest of us. Reinette thought, why is it the opposite for me? Irena continued, so I wanted to name her after resolving this issue, but I never found a single clue about it and did not get to name her. The prince spoke, so nothing like this has ever happened before. Is there anything you can think of? Irena replied, not that I have ever found out. However, I believe there is a place that might have the information we are looking for. The prince asked, where is that? Irena spoke, so the place is. Reinette thought, could Irena be nervous, having to tell her and her daughter's secret to the crown prince? Look, Irena, I trust you. Irena stated, Your Highness, please take me to the palace archives. I understand the entry to the archives is restricted, but that's the best place I can think of that may give us any clue. The prince asked, can you teleport everyone here? The duke replied, it's possible. However, Your Highness, if we were to get caught. The prince spoke, I will take care of it. Irena said, thank you. Your Highness, the prince stated, I am doing this as I am seeking the truth. You don't have to thank me. Anyway, what is your plan from now on? You found your daughter. Reinette thought, I see. Since I have found my real family, I would have to say goodbye to the prince. Irena replied, about that, I have a favor to ask. Could you please keep this child until we get to the royal archives? As you know, I am a lowly maid. It is difficult for me to hide this baby. She would be much safer with you, just as she was this whole time. The prince spoke, I see. All right then. I will take care of Reinette tonight. We will head to the royal archives at dawn. Irena said, I don't know how I will ever be able to repay you. Thank you so much. Reinette thought, is the prince okay about parting ways with me? Then at night, Reinette thought, this is it. It's the last time that I will see this room. The prince came and asked, you stayed up waiting for me. Reinette thought, pull your clothes together. The prince spoke, what is wrong? Reinette, would you like to sleep together tonight? I will let you wear the chemise, of course. After some time, the prince asked, are you asleep? You do realize you turn into a human when you are asleep. Since I have shared the bed with you, it was nice not to have any nightmares. I know I am late in saying this, but it was wonderful having you. Reinette thought, I feel the same. Thank you for being by my side. I definitely don't want to say goodbye. The next morning, the prince said, you are late. The duke replied, I apologize. I had to evade the guards. Did you not bring the cat with you? The prince responded, she is right here. She is really shy. Reinette thought, There is no way he will talk about what happened last night. Irena came in, and the prince said, "Everyone is here at last. Let's get going. It won't be an easy trip." The next moment, the prince asked, "We are here already. How can the security at the royal palace be so vulnerable?" Herod replied, "The thing is, the security spells have quite a few loopholes." The prince stated, "I will have to fix this when I become the emperor. I guess it's a good thing we got in anyhow. Let's begin this search and find any information we can about cats." Rhinette thought, "There are so many books here, wouldn't it take too long to sift through every book?" Irena said, "At this point, anything would help." She picked up a book. The Duke said, "Wait, I sense a strange energy coming from that book," the prince stated. "The content does not appear all that special. Is this a prophecy? One who stole precious lives, past 8 darknesses, shall greet the 9th night." Irena said, "Your Highness, this is the book I was looking for. It is the same prophecy as the one I have heard. My mother told me that I am the 8th child. If the prophecy is what I think it is, the 9th child refers to my baby." Rhinette thought, "I am the 9th child in the prophecy. Wait, let me see this straight. Let's double-check the prophecy. Maybe there is more information in here." Suddenly, light bloomed from the book. Rhinette heard a voice. "My child, do you hear my voice?" The prince asked, "Who are you?" The voice said, "This is a space inside the book, child of the 9th night. I instilled my power within this book so I could tell you my story in the future." Rhinette thought, "The future, did this and this to me from the past." The voice said, "We have been waiting for you, the one destined to save the empire." Rhinette thought, "But they said that cats will destroy the empire. On top of that, I have a reversed curse." The voice said, "Your unique constitution is evidence you are the child of the 9th. I ask you to find the original copy of the prophecy I have damaged. You are protected by divine blessings. You will be able to set things right. I hope that you find your original text and break free from the shackles of sin and suffering. If you meet my descendant, will you help them see the future? Farewell, and I wish you the best of luck." The prince said, "Are you all right? It's good to see you are okay. I was worried because you were out for a long time." The Duke asked, "Your Highness, you both passed out at the same time." The prince replied, "I will explain everything now." After telling the whole story, Herod stated, "That is something only a high priest can do. Based on what you have told us, a name does ring a bell." The original scroll of the prophecy was damaged 1 week after its creation, and there was a priest who died protecting this scroll. His name was Fabian Nellas. It must be him. The prince stated, "Then it's decided. We will find Fabian's descendants. Wherever he is, whoever he is, we will find him no matter what." A few days have passed since then, the prince said. "Thanks to the Duke, we found him soon enough. We are almost at the meetup spot. What is wrong?" Rhinette thought, "Do you really need me to answer that?" The prince said, "Come on. It's dangerous for you outside as you are a cat. It's pertinent that you dress up as a pet rabbit." Rhinette thought, "Don't you think it's unfair that the humiliation is mine and mine only?" In the next scene, the prince asked, "Didn't you say he is 16 years old? Are you sure he is here? It reeks of booze." The Duke replied, "That is the case, Your Highness." Suddenly, the boy asked, "Give me the money." A person said, "Get lost, you idiot." The boy said, "You promised me 10 kellings. I did what you told me to do. Now pay me." The prince asked, "Is that him?" Herod replied, "Yes, Your Highness, there is only one descendant alive, and that's him." The person tried to slap the boy. The prince stated, "I will give you 100 kellings. If 10 kellings gives you the right to punch someone, for 100 kellings I should be able to break your neck. What do you think? If you hurt anyone again, then I will have you search for your own head rolling on the ground." After some time, the prince spoke. "Slow down. Senua Nellas." Senua asked, "What? Who is that?" "Call me Jack." The prince asked, "Jack, is that a name you gave yourself?" Senua replied, "Sure is." "What is it to you?" Rhinette thought, "So that boy is the descendant of Fabian." Senua asked, "So what do you want? You helped me out and bought me food. I never make deals without giving something in return." so that's why I will help you if you tell me what it is that you want. Herod asked, "Do you know about the child whose day and night are reversed?" Sanua said, "A kid who roams around at night instead of sleeping." There was silence in the room. The prince asked, "Do you possess any heirlooms? Any special stories your parents told you?" Sanua replied, "No, there are none." The prince stated, "So he knows nothing. That's enough. We shall get going." Herod, erase Sanua's memories. Duke, search for another Nella's descendant. I will make sure you get paid enough to live comfortably. So don't worry. After all, your family has sacrificed for the empire. Sanua asked, "Wait, I don't want that kind of money. I said I only do fair trades. What gives you the right to erase my memory?" Rynette thought, is it safe to say if he has not inherited anything? There are no clues either. Fabian predicted Sanua's existence, something that only the Nella's descendants can have. It could be the family itself, could it be? Then she started running toward him. Sanua asked, "What is that? A rabbit?" "No, a cat." Rynette jumped at him and thought, the Nella's bloodline itself. The next moment, Sanua asked, "What are you? You are a human now." The prince spoke. "Don't get too close to him," Sanua said. "No way. The cat turned into a human. How does this make any sense? Why is everyone so calm?" The Duke asked, "How did you figure it out?" Rynette replied, "There is one thing that can't break or get stolen no matter how much time goes by, and that's people." Sanua asked, "So you became human because of me? If that's the case, then you should compensate me handsomely." After some time, Rynette asked, "Why are Sanua and Herod in the room?" The prince replied, "I locked them in there because they were being too loud. Anyway, why did you bite the cheek, of all places?" Rynette replied, "That's all I saw at the time, Your Grace." The prince asked, "Why are you being so formal all of a sudden?" Rynette replied, "Well, when I am human, I should abide by the class rules. You are the crown prince, and I am." The prince spoke, "You mean the rules of social class?" Rynette asked, "Is someone screaming? That was loud." "Has something gone wrong?" Rim stated. "Hold on, Rynette, hold still. Did you forget that you are not wearing shoes?" After that, Herod shouted, "Your Highness, please save me. I would rather roll around in a pigsty than be in the same space as that despicable man." Sanua asked, "What? You are terrified of a little mouse, and you are calling me despicable? Forget a pigsty, rot in a rat hole instead." Rynette thought, the mice started moving all at once. Did Sanua make them do that? After some time, the prince spoke, "This is it, a total mess. We lost a lot of time driving the mice out." Sanua replied, "Well, that guy started first." Rynette thought, if my guess is correct, Sanua has the ability to control animals. Then she spoke, "Let's bring Sanua with us. You have a special ability. Do you know your family lineage that produced outstanding priests for generations, and even sacrificed their lives to save the empire? You are born from that Nella's family." Sanua asked, "So what? I didn't do any of that," Rynette told him. "Perhaps you have even greater power than that. Aren't you curious about your abilities? You are the only one who can help me, and you may be able to help other people too." Sanua asked, "If I turn out to be useless, you can't take your words back." "Okay," Rynette replied. "Of course not. Thank you so much." Sanua spoke, "Really? After going through the trouble of giving myself a new name?" Suddenly, Rynette thought, "What is this, an earthquake?" My vision just wobbled. Was Sanua's face this big? Wait, did I turn into a cat again? The prince asked, "Why did she become a cat again?" The Duke replied, "About that, this is just speculation, but it seems like it could be caused by the sudden depletion of Sanua's power. In that case, we have to wait for him to recover to verify. There's not much you can do at this very moment." The prince spoke, "I think it's best that Sanua stays at the county with you. Let me know when his powers are restored. For now, we will return to the palace." Next scene, Irena thought, "His Highness has returned. I wonder if he has resolved Rynette's curse." A maid came and told her, "They have summoned you to the reception room." Irena asked, "Summoned me? Who did?" The maid replied, "It's the Countess." On the other hand, the prince spoke. I am back on the grind as I am back. So, how are you feeling? Reinette thought. I am okay. The prince told her, I will be back soon, you get some rest. Irena came and spoke. Your Highness, apologies for the sudden intrusion. I have got to tell you something. After some time, the prince thought, that woman finally got a hold of Irena. She tried to make her work as her spy. It's bad enough that I can't trust anyone in this palace. This place is exhausting. Well, I suppose there is one person I can trust. Reinette spoke. You are back, the prince told her. Let's go for a walk together. Scene change. The prince asked, what do you think? Do you like it? Reinette thought. The spruce emitting bluish silver light and the lake shimmering under the moonlight are so beautiful. The landscape, cold yet gentle, reminds her of Prince Killian. The prince stated, by the way, I have got something for you. It's a letter from Irena. Your mother, Irena, left to stay at the county. She did not have the chance to say goodbye, so she asked me to give this letter to you. She was so worried about you the whole time on the way there. Reinette thought, could the prince be thinking about the letter from his own mother? He looks so sad. The prince spoke, you have a knack for figuring out a way to comfort me. Perhaps the reason why I stopped having nightmares is because you have some sort of special powers, Reinette thought. What is he saying? Suddenly gaining such abilities seems unlikely. Suddenly, she thought, what is he doing? When asked, look over here. I want you to see it with your own eyes, Reinette thought. The scars he used to have on his body are now gone. The prince spoke, don't stare too hard. Anyway, so I noticed this phenomenon ever since I started sleeping alongside you. Well, to be exact, it's ever since we have spent time together. Well, this is just my speculation. It may as well just be a coincidence. But even if it's not for that, you are still very special to me. Reinette thought, why is it so comforting to hear you say that? Even when I am just an ordinary being, I am still special to you. After some time, the maid spoke. Your Highness, you have made it. The prince asked, what do you need from me at this hour? They replied, well, there is a thing. After that, the prince spoke. They said these cookies are from the countess. Reinette thought, don't eat these. The prince said, so there is something weird in it after all. Reinette thought, Countess, she put the dark magic potion in these cookies too. The prince stated, do you remember what I said earlier, how I think you have special powers? Let's eat one to test it out. We'll see if I get nightmares or not. Reinette thought, why would you eat that? Later that night, Reinette thought, that's a relief. It does not seem like he is having nightmares. I hope this persists for the rest of the night. Suddenly, Reinette thought, is this a dagger? Why is it in my hand? People are shouting. Murderer! You killed. You are cursed, a child born to destroy the empire. You killed them all. Reinette woke up and thought, a dream, wait, it does not look like he is having any bad dreams. Could it be possible I dreamt the prince's nightmares for him? That means the prince has been having these terrible dreams the whole time, pushing one to the edge and ensnaring them in anxiety. The dark magic potion knows exactly how to torment its victim. The entity that will destroy the empire toyed with my fear that I could actually be such an entity. I refuse to believe it, but I can't help but wonder sometimes. However, if I do actually possess the power to take his nightmares away, why is it only now taking effect? The next morning, the prince asked, are you sure you are okay? Tell me the truth, you did not sleep well, did you? Reinette thought. What? That's not true. The prince again asked. Then what is it? You keep dozing off. Reinette thought. Look, it's because of the sunlight. The prince spoke. The weather is your excuse. Reinette thought. I am telling the truth. I am weirdly sleepy. I feel dizzy. And it's hard to breathe. The prince spoke. Reinette, is she all right? Reinette thought. She feels weak. The next moment, Reinette changed appearance. Reinette thought, I am human again. Wait, I don't have any clothes on, the prince stated. Put this on for now. I will stay turned around, Reinette replied. Thank you. You may turn around now, the prince spoke. I need to check if I got any letters from Duke, Reinette asked. Did he predict something like this would happen? The prince replied. No, But in case something does happen, we have installed a magic rune inside the top drawer for direct communication. They just sent us one. It says Senua just used his powers. It seems there is indeed a connection between his powers and your transformation. Do you by any chance? What? Where did she go? Oh, she is just asleep. Wait, if she is asleep, why is she still a cat? After that, the prince read the letter in which the Duke wrote, Your Highness, we speculate that the use of power attributed to the sudden onset of side effects. The prince thought, sure, that's possible. However, it could also be because Reinette is affected by the dark magic potion instead of me. Then the prince wrote that he would appreciate it if they looked more into this, as it could have been caused by the dark magic potion. The reply came, and the Duke said, I have been frequently to the palace lately. It may seem suspicious to His Majesty. The prince wrote to him, If it's difficult for you to come to the palace, then I will go to you myself. After that, the prince thought, could it be because I dreamt too big? Anything near me that has life seems to leave me. The countess asked, Where are you going this late at night? Also, the emperor asked, Are you on your way out? The prince replied, Yes, I am heading to Claude Town. What is in those sacks, if I may ask? The emperor replied, That's a baby fox that I hunted. Catherine got so scared when it popped out in the Empress Garden. Never mind, it could have been an opportunity for me to tear it apart with my bare hands. The prince asked, The sack looks rather large for a baby fox. The emperor stated, What do you know? The mother came running when I tried to kill the kit. Then all the other kits crawled out following their mother. The foolish creature ended up getting its kits killed by trying to fight back. The prince thought, Disgusting human beings, they locked my mother up in the corner of the palace, and now they mock me like this. Then he asked, Was it a satisfying hunt? The emperor replied, Calling it a hunt is silly, it was worth a brief entertainment for the night. The prince spoke, Then I shall be the one to prepare you brief entertainment next time. I shall coordinate a hunt unlike any you have experienced before, if you would allow me. The emperor replied, Sure, I look forward to it. The countess also spoke, I do too. I look forward to it very much. After some time, the prince thought, I will not lose anything that is mine. Anyone who challenges that, I will kill them all. On the other hand, the countess thought, so different from what he said. He was heading to Claude Town so late at night. He has quite a vulgar taste, a woman of lowly status, remarkably beautiful, a maid who vanished into thin air. If it's the prince who hid her so she can't be found, everything makes sense. Then the countess spoke, Your Majesty, there is something I would like to have. The emperor asked, What is it? Say the word, and it's yours. The countess thought, Poor thing does not realize, when you hide something you cherish like that, it makes me want to find it and take it. The countess stated, Give me the hide of the baby fox. Next scene, the Duke said, Herod will bring Senua to us soon. Please wait here for a moment. Your Highness, will you take Miss Reinette back if she wakes up? The prince asked, Why do you ask? The Duke spoke, We have been fortunate enough to bring her as a cat here thus far. But what will happen from now on is rather unpredictable. If she were in human form while she was asleep, it would have been much more complicated to bring her here. You must consider whether it is the right thing to keep her at the palace. The current setup is dangerous, both for your Highness and for Miss Reinette. The prince stated, No, Reinette will continue to stay with me. Senua came and said, I mean, how should I know how to wake up a cat? Suddenly, he saw the prince and asked, Your Highness, have you been up all night? The prince stated, Awake, Reinette. Senua thought, I wish they would at least give me some instructions. All I can try is pour my power onto her. The prince spoke, Herod, can you try to read Reinette's memories? I need to check something. Herod replied, Well then, please excuse me for a moment. Herod thought, What is this happening? What on earth is this? The Duke asked, What did you see? Herod spoke, Everyone was dead. This woman killed them all, and at the end. The prince stated, She killed me. Herod asked, How did you know? The prince replied, Because it's the same plot of a dream as the one I used to have every night up until I met Reinette. she is dreaming the nightmares in place for me. In her dream, Reinette heard a person ask, "Did you have a nightmare?" Reinette asked. "How did you know I had a nightmare?" The person spoke. "That's because you are still in it." Reinette thought, "No," and heard voices. "It's your fault. You killed them. You are the downfall. Everything is because of you. Pick up the dagger, take it and stab your heart. Then all the pain will go away. End it with your own hands." Reinette spoke. "Okay. Then I will find comfort." She saw the prince speak. "It's time to wake up." Reinette opened her eyes. The prince asked, "Can you see me?" Suddenly, she felt suffocating. The prince asked, "What is wrong?" Reinette thought she couldn't breathe. The prince asked, "Is it hard to breathe? Is that what it is? Look this way, it's okay." Reinette thought, "This is the prince, his breath is flowing in me." Like this video. Hit the like button and subscribe for more videos.